I waited a little late to do my speech because I was in the great place of deliberation over the past weekend, Washington, D.C. But as I was thinking about which topic I wanted to choose, I initially thought I didn't want to post about something too controversial like abortion because I hate starting arguments online and I guess deliberation online. I thought, oh, maybe I should do something about the environment because that is an issue, but it's not too controversial. And then I realized that day that the Mueller hearing was trending on all platforms, so I thought that that would be the perfect thing to post about and something that people would probably want to comment on. I remember first hearing about this in fall 2018 when I was in journalism and trying to understand exactly what was going on. And I still am a little confused about exactly what is involved in the Mueller investigation, but with some research, I think that I was able to craft some thoughtful posts that could spark deliberation. For my platforms, I chose YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, mostly because I've used all of these platforms before for deliberation and I feel comfortable commenting on all of these. So for Twitter, it was really easy to choose because the Mueller hearing was the top trending topic of the day. So I thought that people would want to reply. On Facebook, I saw a few people reposting articles about the Mueller hearing, so I decided to do the same thing, repost an article with comment and see exactly what people would have to say about that. And on YouTube, I easily found one of many videos about the Mueller hearing from CNN that was pretty liberal leaning, and I decided to comment something also liberal leaning on that YouTube post. Here is my post on Twitter, which sparked the most engagement. I traced this back to how I am more active on Twitter than the other platforms I decided to post on. I asked a simple question, and the first people to reply were definitely left-leaning. I got 3 left-leaning responses, initially saying that we should not move on from the Mueller investigation. Some simply said we should not move on, and one girl explained exactly why we should not move on, claiming that we could impeach Trump later on with the things found in the investigation. After they had posted, my conservative friends posted. One said, "Callie, you already know what I believe," not wanting to start a fight, and the other replied to her post, seconding it. On Facebook and YouTube, I haven't received any replies to my comments yet. On Facebook, I reposted an article about someone's opinion about the Mueller hearing, asking if the Attorney General should release the investigation to Congress or not. And that person said yes, so I asked the question, no one replied. And then on YouTube, I replied to a CNN video of Anderson Cooper kind of following up with the whole hearing, just seeing what he had to say. And I just did a comment about how if the investigation was released, it wouldn't be any he said, she said anymore between Congress and President Trump, but that they would have something to back up their opinions against what Trump was saying. He had a very liberal view of the whole hearing and got a lot of backlash in the comments for that. I don't think anyone replied to my comment because there were so many comments and mine just got lost in the shuffle. So looking back on my experience, I don't think I did everything to foster an environment where deliberation could occur, just because I should have replied to those responses on Twitter, maybe playing devil's advocate to spark controversy and deliberation, but I didn't want to do that because I do not like creating arguments online. And I also think that with the way that people responded, with 3 people of the same mindset responding first and then the conservative people replying, they didn't want to say anything being in the minority group because they wouldn't have people surrounding them to make the fight even. Now, for actions to take to encourage healthy deliberation in the future. First of all, I believe the most important part of that is definitely keeping in touch with current events. I know it's difficult because there's so much news coming at us all the time, but I personally read the New York Times daily briefings, and I think that this helps me stay in the loop with the most important things. Now, for a platform to use, I definitely recommend using Twitter. It works best for me just because most of my audience on there are people around my age, which I think evens the playing field compared to somewhere like Facebook, where obviously different demographic groups are going to have very different opinions. It's also very easy to find a trending topic and discussions and articles about that topic, so it's super easy to just hop in to what everyone's talking about. This is where speakers stand on the verge of deliberation. You have your facts prepared, you're ready to go, but how do you jump into the speech? I definitely recommend staying factual in everything you say, and with it being so easy to embed articles on places like Facebook and Twitter, embed the articles, make sure that people have a place to go to know that the information you're giving is solid. Things start to get uncivil when people start hurling personal criticisms at each other, like name calling and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend trying your hardest to stay away from that. And if that does happen, either squelch it by ending the argument, just leaving, staying silent, or pointing out that things have gotten off track and trying to get back to the actual deliberation and healthy conversation. So I put this recommendation out there for starting deliberation just based on the platforms that I use, seeing that Twitter is one of the easier ones and a place where this occurs all the time. I think that it's important for everyone to be up to date on current events and what others are saying about those current events, to be a responsible citizen and voter, especially in today's climate with the next election coming up soon. So I think that politics are a difficult issue to talk about online and can get toxic quickly, but if you have to talk about it, definitely go about it in the most factual way possible, and if things start to get out of hand, you can always leave the argument, and that's one of the best things about deliberation online.